Alright, what's up, everybody? We're gonna do a video on kind of what's been going on in wrestling here lately. Because there's been some good stuff to talk about so far.
Pretty good stuff.
There's been some controversial.
So we have, obviously, some WWE. Bray Wyatt won the title at Elimination Chamber. And you got Goldberg versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title coming up. Let's see, what else? Lesnar and Goldberg at Mania. So we could have a title match between Lesnar and Goldberg. It's kind of looking that way.
It probably will be that way.
Yeah, it's looking that way because they got to find a clever way. I feel like they got to find a clever way to get the United States title off of Jericho because he's leaving like the same month as Mania to go on his Fozzy tour, like the end of April.
I was thinking one thing they could do is have Lesnar interrupt the match. Nobody's thinking that'll happen.
The Goldberg match.
Yeah, and then have Kevin Owens retain, which I wouldn't want to see that, but that'd be
Nah,
funny.
I think the most clever, like, it kind of sucks because
Everybody knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like I feel like since WWE knows that, so they might have Lesnar interrupt. I feel that's just my
I just feel like
one
if
out of
Jericho,
1,000 shot.
If Jericho wouldn't have announced he was leaving, like, he announced on his podcast he was leaving at the end of April. So, like, the only real logical thing would be, obviously, to let Goldberg take the title off of Owens. And then, since Jericho's the one who set the match up between Owens and Goldberg, obviously, Owens is going to be like, well, since you caused me to lose my title, I want your title.
It's really pretty. Yeah, everybody
very
knows.
predictable.
Everybody knows what's going on with that.
SmackDown's pretty good on the unpredictability right now, though, because we don't know who's going to win between AJ and Luke Harper.
Probably Luke Harper.
Probably Luke Harper.
I thought AJ would win the Battle Royal, but you thought Harper, so we both kind of came out with that.
So I'm thinking, like, the most, like, I would say Harper. That way you have, like, a clash of the Wyatt family kind of.
Plus, you can put AJ with anybody, and it'll be good. It'll be good. You could throw
Nakamura's wanting to have an AJ WrestleMania match with him and Nakamura. Nakamura like went to Triple H and was like,
I think that's thrown together at the last minute, but there's always that one match that's thrown together at the last minute. It's usually two guys like that you just there's no storyline needed. Just let them wrestle.
I mean, that would be a cool. I mean, that's kind of how Jericho. I mean, Jericho and AJ had a feud, but I mean,
has Nakamura been a face? Like, can he do it?
He is.
He's always a face.
Straight face. Like,
Okay,
he is
that'll work then.
100%.
For some reason, I thought he was a heel. I haven't watched it really. I don't watch a lot of NXT.
Yeah, he's complete. Well, he's a face, but like he doesn't really speak English and like.
He's kind of like Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy kind of face. Like, everybody likes him. He doesn't have a lot of mic time.
Yeah, there's really no way you could ever turn Nakamura heel because number one, his English is so limited. Like he can't.
Yeah, okay,
he couldn't cut a heel
sense.
promo. So.
Also, we got to talk about what everyone's been talking about, the CM Punk
biggest
possibility.
storyline. Yeah,
That's really what everybody wants to hear about.
So everybody knows if you keep up with professional wrestling, The Rock came out after Raw in Los Angeles on Monday night, and he called CM Punk in the ring with the fans chanting his name and all that, and plus during the middle of Raw, AJ Lee come out and promoted her movie, and she didn't just come out and promote it, like she come out and do her theme music and like done her little skipping thing or like all the way around the ring and then got up in the ring and done her thing. So
wasn't she wearing like her
she was
wrestling attire?
Wearing ring attire.
I haven't seen. I saw the Rock thing. I haven't seen that part yet.
So that kind of hints towards a CM Punk comeback to me. I mean,
we've been sitting here saying this is going to be the time CM Punk comes back. For about 2.5 years, but this is probably the one I'm like it could happen.
So I mean, you think about it. He had his UFC fight. And once it was over, you literally haven't heard anything out of him about anything. Like UFC
he did his initial oh, I'm coming back, but it was.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh yeah, I'm done.
You got to do that while you're still on the pay-per-view card, while you're technically.
Yeah, I think he kind of was basically like, I want to try my hand in something. And he did it. Okay, that's not my thing. Like,
yeah, wrestling.
Hopefully,
now wrestling, it's his thing.
I mean, if you're CM Punk, you want to go do something you're really good at, and you're good at. You can make a lot of money doing it, and now he can negotiate with less dates. He doesn't have to do what he was doing.
Yeah,
he probably won't.
His popularity's through the roof.
He probably won't ever have to do house shows. He probably could get away without doing TVs. He could probably do what Brock and Goldberg have been doing. Honestly.
Come in on a couple Raws here and there. I mean,
I don't think he would do that though, because he criticized those guys. I think he would want to do TVs, but I could easily see him taking house shows off or something. That would probably be pretty.
That'd be cool. I mean, not cool, but I mean,
that'd be
just
pretty,
to have him back. It'd be cool.
Oh, he's like the guy that went back the most out of anybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would rather have him back than anybody.
So I mean, this I wouldn't say.
I'm still kind of skeptical because I don't just immediately buy into these rumors, but this is the one I'm most sure about.
This is one that
This is the only one I can think.
And this one hasn't really hit the internet yet. You know what I mean? Everybody's just talking about The Rock calling him. Nobody's actually is CM Punk coming back? Nobody's really talking about it. I mean, it's been 3 or 4 days, and I haven't really heard anybody say on any websites, oh, CM Punk coming back. I mean,
Because there's been a ton of them, like like the Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania 30. Everybody was like, he's gonna come out.
yeah, it didn't happen.
Then it was, let's see, what was it? They were like, there's been like 20 of them. Like,
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
Every time Paul Heyman cuts a promo, they think he's gonna come out. Like,
yeah.
Every time the chants go, like people, every time they're in Chicago, people were like, he's coming back.
So I mean, we'll see. Mania's in Miami, or it's in Orlando this year. So I mean, he could possibly come out and
Tell me you don't want to make one more payday.
Yeah, come on.
And then whenever that happens, like Shawn Michaels when he came back, like he said, I'm coming back for one match, and then he stayed for another like 9 years or 10 years.
Yeah.
Like everybody says they're coming back for one match.
Who would you like to see him face if he did like have a surprise Mania match? Like, who'd be good for him right now?
I have one theory, but it's completely just out of hand. Kurt Angle, like,
Man,
wouldn't that be
that'd
cool
be
if they had two guys? That would be kind of a waste though, because you could have Kurt Angle. If Kurt Angle has a match and CM Punk has a match, people are watching both of those. There's no sense in wasting it and putting them together.
With the star power.
But it would be cool though.
That'd be the match of the night. Like,
That'd be cool though. They've never wrestled before. The minute he got in, Kurt Angle was gone.
Man,
they just miss each other. It'd be kind of cool. They could just do the storyline like I just miss you. Like you think I've been hearing all this hype about you. I gotta test. They could make something up like that.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know who I'd like to see him have a match with right now. I have to really think about it. I just kind of come up with that question on the spot. So,
I mean, I could see him doing it with AJ because AJ doesn't have an opponent, and they could easily do the same thing. They could be like, we've both wrestled around the world, and we've missed each other, and we never. They could do that. The roster's so deep now, though. It's not like back in the day where there's like 3 guys you can wrestle. Like
another thing I want to touch on before this video ends is
or Samoa Joe too. Well, probably not him.
That's kind of almost what I was going to talk about. That's weird that you said it. This Seth Rollins thing. So initially, if you go back and watch like 2 or 3 videos ago, we talked about the Seth Rollins injury like the day it happened almost, and you called it right. Like I was saying it might be a storyline, and then it actually was not. I was wrong on saying it might be. Now this whole like missing WrestleMania thing, I don't know if I quite buy that.
They never say that on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they never openly say that.
To a point where like next week they're gonna have a sit-down interview about him missing.
The only way I can see that is if he wants to wrestle and they won't let him, and he's like, just let me do something. That's the only way I could buy into that.
I believe
they never actually say that. That's usually something that happens, and they're like, okay,
we don't
guys.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, because WWE doesn't like to talk about stuff that's like that.
Like I know now that the injury happened. Like I know the injury's real. I don't know if I'm biting on the whole missing a second WrestleMania in a row. Let's make a huge storyline about it and like
Yeah, if anything, they'd probably just ignore it. Like, all right, he's gone. Everybody forget about him. That way, when he comes back, he can have a big surprise. And
yeah, I mean,
I think he was never gone.
Yeah, they're trying to like.
They're like
initiate
openly like, yeah, he's hurt. I want you to know it.
That never happened.
They never do that.
So I don't know if I quite buy the whole CM Punk. Seth Rollins missing the second Mania in a row, but
that's another reason why CM Punk could come back because they need somebody with Rollins being gone again.
They need superstar. That is superstar.
No, I know last year at WrestleMania they were down Dean Ambrose. I think the reason he was champ really last summer is because Cena, Orton, Rollins all were out. Reigns had just came back, kind of. Now they have a lot of talent, but I still think WrestleMania, you want as many people as you can.
Yeah, you want as much star power as you can just to sell tickets.
They pulled out all the stops last year at WrestleMania. I thought, like me and you, we didn't expect a whole lot.
They really have a chance. They really have a chance this year to pull out the stuff. Like, I mean, you got Kurt Angle, a possible CM Punk.
A possible Kurt Angle. It's not really. He doesn't have a match or anything. So.
Well, he's
at least gonna do the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, that's what he's at least gonna be there. That way.
I feel like he'll do something though.
He has to.
He'll be there the night before. He's not gonna come out there and do something. I don't believe that.
You got Kurt Angle, who's like, I guess you could technically call him with the WWE right now since he's coming into the Hall of Fame and he has to be at the ceremony. He's technically with the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
A possible CM Punk. You got AJ's on the top of the world. Cena's about to go part time, so you got to make his huge thing. They got a good
Orton. I don't know. Nobody knows what he's going to be doing, but
yeah, Orton. You got Bray Wyatt as a title holder. Goldberg and Lesnar. This is going to be a pretty good match.
It's going to be pretty good. I don't think it'll be a weird Goldberg and Lesnar match like they'd had at WrestleMania 20. That was like an uncomfortable, bad match.
Yeah, I heard one person say they'd like, and I wouldn't like to see this. I just want to see if people watch this video to even hear about it. But I heard somebody say they'd like to see a Shane McMahon AJ Styles match at Mania.
What?
I'm like, nah.
I
no
like seeing
way,
Shane
like,
McMahon do something, but AJ Styles has to have like.
You can't waste.
You got to put AJ Styles in there with somebody who he has the potential to have a 5-star match with. Shane McMahon's real. I like him as a wrestler though.
Yeah,
like, for a guy that doesn't wrestle much, but you can't do that. He's like gonna probably be your best match. Like,
I really hope they don't let Reigns go over on the Undertaker.
And they haven't even like they just teased it at Royal Rumble and they haven't even said anything about it.
Well, they gotta get this Braun Strowman match out of the way.
They need to do some vignettes or something. You know what I mean? Like that, they usually start doing vignettes by now.
What would be cool if because Braun Strowman and him have a match at Fastlane on March 5th, and would be cool if like the Undertaker come out and calls him to lose or something.
That's probably gonna happen.
That'd be pretty cool because he eliminated him, so. You know,
but it's still wide open. I mean, it looked like they were teasing that, like foreshadowing that. But they didn't go so far where they have to do that, but they went far enough to where they could do it and it wouldn't seem like it was thrown together.
That'd almost be the smoothest way to let Braun Strowman win because he's on top of the world right now as the big man. And then
that dude's running things all wrong.
You can't just let him beat Mark Henry, beat Big Show, lose to Reigns at Fastlane. I mean, you're gonna let him lose to Reigns? Like, come on. Man.
Yeah, I don't see him losing.
So what you do is you just let. You can't let Reigns lose when he's going into an Undertaker match. So what you do is you obviously let the Undertaker come out, cause him to lose.
Well, when you have two guys that you can't afford to let lose, you let a guy come out there and interrupt it, and then you can use that to not only to protect both of your stars, but you can also promote another match. There's many reasons why they'll do that. It'd be
cool to see the Undertaker interfere in a match. I mean, that's not.
He never does that.
Yeah, that's
the only time he's done it was like the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam.
So that'd be pretty cool.
Or. Not Summer. Yeah, I think it was SummerSlam. It was like 2 years ago. But yeah, they definitely could do that.
And then the last obvious storyline is, if you read anything on the internet, Nikki Bella's career is probably going to be over at WrestleMania. She's got her neck's not healing like the doctors told her it would. She can't wrestle anymore. So they've started a Miz and John Cena and Nikki Bella and is her name Maurice? Is that her name?
Yeah.
So they started that little feud. If you watch Hell in a Cell.
John Cena deserves way better than that, to be honest.
You watched Elimination Chamber. Nikki Bella and Natalya's match went backstage, and Nikki Bella ran into Maurice, and she like threw like makeup all over her or something. She was
something goofy, just storyline like.
And then on SmackDown Tuesday night, the Miz got eliminated from the Battle Royal, and John Cena was still in it, and the Miz jumped back up in the ring and eliminated John Cena, and he like jumped off through the crowd, and like Cena was watching him. And, like, in the crowd, he was doing, like, you can't see me to John Cena, like, up in the crowd with the fans. So they've obviously started that storyline.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
I think it was you that told me a couple years ago, The Undertaker made a quote that the internet's going to ruin this business one day. And it's officially, I think...
It completely ruins it. Well, the worst part is, like, people will predict it and the writers will just be like, okay, well, I guess we're just going to keep going with it. Like, they should do audibles, like...
Yeah,
that way people will not be right and they'll... Like
the Royal Rumble was a straight audible. Like everybody was like, "Oh, the Undertaker's winning." Obvious. Like.
Well, it's like if you have a plan and everybody guesses it, I don't know why they don't switch it. That way, people don't think
they have to know these rumors are out there.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of annoying. I remember the internet's been around for like the last 8 or 10 years, but it's never been like here lately. It's just been like ruining everything. Like,
I'm about to just.
It used to be like they throw out 4 or 5 theories, one of them happened.
Yeah,
now it's like they just completely guess it.
I'm about to just straight stop reading the internet. Like I can't. Like,
you always do it, and then we do the video, and you just say like, "Oh, yeah, I read this," and it's usually right. Like I just try not to do any. Like I just try to like completely just guess or whatever.
Dang.
Because it can ruin it for you sometimes.
It really can.
Because you just read it and you're like, yeah, that'll probably happen.
Well, sometimes
because people just sit there and they collaborate with each other, and then this person heard this, and this person knows this inside thing, and if you put it all together, you can kind of form like a pretty good like guess, and then it's usually right.
All right. Well, that's hopefully the main thing of this video. Hopefully, we hope happens of everything is no doubt the CM Punk.
CM Punk needs to come back.
CM Punk needs to come back.
He's my favorite.
He needs to come back not only for his sake, because I mean he is kind of not doing anything right now, but I mean. Dude, the fans want you back so bad. Like,
well, plus think about it. Like the reason he left, he had to work Ryback. He had to work all the same guys. He pretty much was working Cena, Ryback, and like I don't know who else, like Big Show and
like Wade Barrett.
Like he was just tired of working the same guys, especially Ryback. I knew he didn't like wrestling Ryback.
He hated Ryback
because Ryback was just messing him up.
His main problem's gone, and Triple H is so focused on NXT right now.
Yeah, and him and Triple H never got along. It's really. And plus, if you don't like Raw, SmackDown's like the perfect place for a guy like him.
Yeah, it really would be.
Guys like him and AJ Styles, guys that like aren't like,
by the book. Like,
yeah, they're like kind of because he always wanted to bring in like the new like guys who were different and they weren't muscular, powerful guys. CM Punk is like
perfect.
He barely missed it because like the minute he left, they started bringing in all the guys that he wanted to wrestle with, the kind of style he's all about, and they kind of did away with the Ryebacks and the huge muscular guys.
So hopefully he comes in. I would love
Except
to
for
see
Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is the best big man I think I've ever seen.
That dude
is white hot right now. They need to make him. They need to have him in the title picture.
If you didn't see it, that dude straight down a kip up on Raw Monday night.
It was a good one. It wasn't like, oh, that was good for a big man. That was a good one.
Shawn Michaels was sitting in his house and he was like, I'm impressed.
It was pretty good.
And the week before he drop kicked Mark Henry. He didn't just like drop kick him in the chest. No, he like it was as high as Mark Henry.
It was a drop kick. It wasn't like a drop kick for a big guy.
I mean, he's 6'10", 385. That is honest to God what he really. That's the WWE hasn't built at that, but he said on Stone Cold's podcast, "No, I really am that."
They usually completely go over the board with like the weights, but I think his is actually like within 5 or 10 pounds if they are exaggerating, which probably they aren't.
He said on Stone Cold's podcast, "My WWE measurements are my actual measurements." So
that's cool.
So, all right.
And I would like to see him and Brock. I'm calling. You heard it first here.
Yeah, you did call that the other night.
I want to see them do that.
I hope that happens.
There's one guy who I'm like, okay, he could actually stand. Well, I mean, there's a couple guys, but the guy I really think could like be legitimate, like in a real fight with Brock is Braun Strowman.
Yeah, seriously.
Let him fight. Let him. It'd be the best program ever.
That'd be such a good athletic, huge people who you're like, oh, it'd be stiff. No, they're both really athletic, like really athletic.
There's nobody who's gonna throw Braun Strowman around except Brock.
There's nobody who can really throw Brock around except Braun Strowman. I mean,
exactly.
So it's got to happen now. We called that one. Now this is the only internet rumor y'all need to spread everywhere.
Yeah, this one's actually original. Everybody else just like they hear something on a podcast and they just regurgitate the same rumor. We just throw completely crazy ideas.
Yeah. So spread that one around, but nobody else's. All right, well that's another WWE video. Be sure to check out.
You want these? Check the links.
All of our unboxings, PM reviews, mugs, shirts. Over here.
I have some weird shirt. I wore like 80% of our videos. So.
Check out all our unboxing videos of belts and shirts and gloves and everything.
All types of merch.
We'll probably do another one here soon.
NFL draft video probably coming up.
NFL draft video is coming up right after the combine, so be watching. Be on the lookout for that. Share us everywhere on social media. Follow us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.